I can start. We will do Mr. Whitebucks on Monday because my stuff from Timu hasn't come in. They are always late. Jackson.
After my dad woke me up, I went back to sleep, so I only had like a few minutes to.
You live close enough you can walk to school.
No, well, yeah, I live, well, at my dad's house, it's in Louisville.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know that there's two separate. I apologize. You feeling good now? Ready to go? All right. Nicholas. You had your hand raised. Oh. Anybody else? Bryce.
Jackson's back from getting hit in the face with a baseball and bleeding.
Awesome. Is your baseball game today, Ken?
No problem.
It's been raining for 3 days straight, right? So our practice is canceled too. Anybody else? Nothing? Bryce.
My backyard will probably be flooded.
Your backyard?
Yeah.
Well, now you got pool.
Yeah. I haven't mowed in a week and a half, so mine's probably gonna be like this. Sabrina,
One of these little things are hanging on by a thread and my mom fixed it.
your mom fixed it? It's nice to have a handy mom, right? Good job, Mom. All right, CNN in 10, yay. Bryce, you wanna pass out? Hey, give me half.
Just put it over there and we'll put it in lost and found.
You got some left over, Bryce? All right, is everybody ready for CNN 10? How are we supposed to act during CNN 10?
Voice level 0, pay attention, finishes.
Fantastic. Let's roll.
Ice cream, yep.
Hello, sunshine. Welcome back to CNN 10. It's April 11th and a Random Thought Thursday. Heat, pressure, and time, the three things that make a diamond, are also the three things that make a waffle. I'm Coy Wire. Let's eat. The Biden administration has set the first ever national standard to limit forever chemicals in our drinking water. These chemicals are officially known as PFAS, spelled out PFAS. A government study found they're present in nearly half of the United States drinking water. These forever chemicals can stick around in our environment and in our bodies. They are linked to a variety of health problems that include cancer, thyroid disease, reproductive problems, and heart and liver damage. The CDC says these chemicals can be found in the blood of nearly 97% of Americans. This regulation is designed to reduce exposure to these chemicals for about 100 million people across the United States. The plan targets 5 specific types of chemicals and sets strict limits for them. Water treatment facilities have 3 years to start testing and another 2 years to implement technology to filter out these chemicals. The federal government has set aside $1 billion to do it. So what does this all mean for you and me? CNN's Dr. Sanjay Gupta has more.
You may have never heard of PFAS, but you're likely to have these potentially dangerous chemicals inside your body. Perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl are substances that are known as forever chemicals. These synthetic chemicals were developed in the 1940s and are used to repel oil and water. They make consumer items non-stick, waterproof, stain-resistant, and they're found in many products you likely use. Some obvious: non-stick cookware, waterproof clothing, but also in things you may not necessarily realize: dental floss, pizza boxes, microwave popcorn bags, even makeup and sunscreen. Now, over the last several decades, these chemicals have been developed at this breakneck pace. There's now more than 9,000 PFAS-related chemicals to date, and again, they're called forever chemicals because they don't break down completely, meaning the same properties that make these chemicals so durable also make them extremely hard to get rid of, meaning they accumulate in the environment, in animals, and yes, they accumulate in us, humans. Thousands of communities across the United States have drinking water that is contaminated with PFAS, and as a result, more than 200 million Americans could have toxic PFAS in their drinking water, according to the Environmental Working Group. Now here's the thing, nearly all people have a measurable level of PFAS in their bodies. In fact, it's estimated that 98% of the US population has some level of PFAS contamination, and for individuals exposed on a regular basis, the chemicals build up cumulatively. Now I want to be clear, these are relatively early days, and we still don't fully understand the extent of the threat posed by these chemicals. PFAS have been linked to cancer and kidney and liver damage and other serious health problems in people with prolonged exposure. As for reversing the damage that has already been done, water treatment is expensive at scale. It's even harder, if not impossible, to remove PFAS from soil or the environment. But here's what you can do until a cheaper, more effective solution is found. You can avoid stain and water-resistant products and sprays. If you order delivery or takeout from restaurants, remove your food from takeout containers before reheating. When cooking at home, steer clear of non-stick cookware and filter your drinking water with activated carbon or reverse osmosis if possible.
Who's gonna get it? Which founding fathers appear on the first U.S. postage stamps? Washington and Jefferson, Washington and Franklin, Adams and Franklin, or Washington and Adams? If you said George Washington and Benjamin Franklin, go ahead and put your hands up. The 5-cent stamp depicting Franklin and 10-center picturing Washington became valid for use in the U.S. in the year 1847. We've got news in the world of snail mail. Stamp prices are set to rise again. The U.S. Postal Service is bumping up the price of the first-class Forever stamp by a nickel. The cost is increasing from 68 cents to 73. If you're thinking that's a lot, you're right. Since 2019, the cost has shot up by 36%. So if you paid $1 to send something 5 years ago, you'd be paying $1.36 today. The Postal Service says this price hike is designed to get the post office on better financial footing. They added that the prices, though, remain among the most affordable in the world. The 5-cent increase doesn't kick in until July and still requires regulatory approval. For today's story, getting a 10 out of 10, we're shining some light on all the animals that were suddenly in the dark during Monday's eclipse. They didn't know what was going on. Our Ed Lavendera reports from the Dallas Zoo.
It was like momentarily walking into the classic comedy Night at the Museum, a glimpse into the secret lives of animals at the Dallas Zoo when humans aren't around to watch. Zebra started chasing him, and then the ostriches got into the mix as well. Just as the zoo slipped into total darkness, a jolt of, well, animal energy seemed to shoot through the grounds. The moment mesmerized Lisa Van Sleet, a curator of mammals at the Dallas Zoo.
So did the total eclipse day meet your expectations?
It exceeded my expectations today. There was a lot more activity than I expected to see out of the animals.
Just before total darkness, an ostrich laid an egg and hovered over it for a time, protecting it. Zoo officials say it's not clear if the moment was caused by the eclipse, but that the timing was certainly curious, they said. Guinea fowls suddenly crowed wildly.
I hear the birds are starting.
The birds are getting louder. Yeah. Just before the moon covered the sun for almost 4 minutes, a young giraffe and its mother galloped around the enclosure. The zebras joined in the chase as well. Here and around the country, elephants grouped together and appeared to head back to the area where they sleep. Flamingos packed together in the middle of a pond in their habitat. Primates apparently also thought it was bedtime. Animal experts say the sudden darkness triggered a natural reaction among many of the animals.
At nighttime, predators go out a lot more, and so they have to kind of huddle together to be safety in numbers, and in case something's coming, so they went into that instinct pretty quickly.
At this doggy daycare in the Dallas area, this group of dogs seemed to stop, confused by the sudden darkness. When the sun returned, the dogs started playing around again. Another video captured a cat wanting to come inside its home when darkness struck. At the Toledo Zoo, a polar bear didn't seem to care about all the fuss, nonchalantly dove into the water before the sun disappeared. Texas Parks and Wildlife officials teamed up with NASA to set up these acoustic recording devices to monitor the sounds of animals in the wild. But not all animals were flustered or impressed by the total eclipse. Tobogo the giraffe mostly walked around, unfazed, ready to start chewing on the lettuce the humans feed him when the sun came back. Because a total eclipse is so rare, there's very little documentation, very few studies that have been done on animal behavior during a total eclipse. Because of that, zoo officials say they plan on sharing their observations and the data they gather, not just with other zoos that were in the path of this eclipse, but as well as with other zoos across the country. Ed Lavandera, CNN, Dallas.
Apparently the eclipse didn't meet Tobogo's expectations. He spotted the sun's leaf of absence, but he's used to long stretches of darkness, so he was unfazed because he knew it would come back later than later. Today's shout out is going to Mililani Middle School in Mililani, Hawaii. Aloha Blazers, and thank you for watching this show. Rise up. Happy Friday Eve, everyone. Shine bright today and go on out and make someone smile. I dare you. I'm Coy Wire, and we are CNN 10.
All right, what did someone find interesting about CNN? No one? Jackson, what'd you say? The animals' reactions to the eclipse? What do you think ancient humans did during the eclipse? You think they freaked out?
They probably got blinded because they saw it.
I thought that they'd be mad or they possibly could have done something the animals did and kind of just like thought it was like bedtime.
Think they probably made up a story? Some kind of story to explain it?
Like some
Some
creature,
god.
yeah, something like covered it or something to like curse them or something. Something like that.
Probably. All right, so you're gonna get out your reading packet. We're gonna do it a little bit differently today. All right, so you're gonna work with your group to read one section. You'll have 5 minutes to read that one section and answer the questions. And then we're gonna stop and we're gonna do a group discussion on the question I have on the board. So for the first one, legacy of the Etruscans. What aspects of Etruscan culture do you think had the most significant influence on Roman society based on the information provided? So you want to think about that while you are reading. Your groups are the people you're sitting at a table with. Does everyone have a paper? Who doesn't have a paper? Did you have a question, Jesse? The question is, what aspects of Etruscan culture do you think had the most significant influence on Roman society based on the information provided? So, how can we break that down into an easier question?
Like, who's the most like,
What part of the people's culture had
the most influence on Rome?
So what did the Etruscans do that the Romans copied?
Yeah.
Right? That's an easier way to think about that question. All right, so go ahead and get your groups. You have 5 minutes to read it, answer the questions. Go ahead and get started.
What? Y'all gotta work together. It's a group project. They're supposed to be reading the second section,
Yes.
correct? They don't have anything for the first because they chose not to work yesterday.
No, I was sick.
You were still here though.
Y'all made me get in the corner and I should come up here.
This is where you are. No. You're on this one. Legacy of the Etruscans. Legacy of the Etruscans. Legacy of the Etruscans. Alright, so who's the reader in this group? Somebody has to read it. Somebody has to read it. Who's the reader? You all have to agree. You can't just point at somebody. Can you read? Who's the reader in this group? Are you reading out loud? Who's the reader?
You already answered?
Yeah, he was working yesterday.
Where's your paper?
Pretty good.
Cause y'all was just walking around.
I was working. Don't copy off of it. Not copy.
Landon, what are you doing?
What?
So what you guys can do is talk about the question that I put on the board. Right?
Are they already
So
done?
you can talk about that together since you already did.
Are they already complete?
Why are we on this one?
What?
Are they already complete?
They said it so they can discuss the question.
We're not. But like you see of those. I already completed.
Who's reading?
Hold on. What? We're not on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. Go. Come on, man. Come on, man. You got this one. Awesome. I don't have,
You guys not reading it together?
I don't have,
Writing your fake tattoos?
yeah. Alright, what's this? What's this one?
Just
go back. Okay, what you get on this one? What you get on this one? Right there.
You guys read it?
We already did. And we already answered it.
So now what you're supposed to do is discuss the question on the board.
So we already
Romans. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Wait for me. That's not the one. This is
That's all we do. We don't like write it down and just discuss it.
Let's discuss it.
First question.
Wait, why are they Wait, what was it? BCB. C. That's what I said. What's this one? We're not, no, I'm not doing that. Alright, what's this? I'm gonna yawn. Oh, that was on camera. They could have heard that. Well, that's kind of like shut up. So if you want to shut up. We're gonna get trouble.
Alright, Kyrie, what aspect of Etruscan culture do you think had the most significant influence on Roman society based on the information provided? I've said it 4 times.
False.
Miss White.
Oh, I paid 2. Oh, he's Miss Ginger. I got 2. Miss Ginger's gonna get canceled. Wait, I got what's this one? I got me something better. Let me see it. I got some shoes. Wait, copying off. Wait, what's this one? Hold up, bro.
Who's
Wait, did you get lost? Do you want to visit Tyson? Do you want to get You want to be skibbity? You look like a skibbity. But well, I just don't know.
All right, Kyrie, did you get your answer?
No.
Give me 5. Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Landon. Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you, Logan. Thank you, Liana. And thank you, Sabrina. All right, Kyrie. What's the answer? Thank you, Colin.
Their language and letters and stuff made probably the most significant impact that they still use in the past.
The language and the letters. Colin, what do you got?
We saw that Roman inventions were also borrowed from the people. Because it says Roman inventions were often borrowed from the place, and it shows many things that what the Etruscans or whatever they're called borrowed.
What's an example of one?
The togas.
Toga.
Yeah, toga. The rat robes that the Romans were often actually in Etruscan form of dress.
You've probably seen that in movies, right?
Yeah.
They have toga parties and stuff.
Yeah, they borrowed that from them.
All
And
right.
alphabet.
Yes.
That's what I thought that was very cool.
So, we're going to start the second one. Rome becomes a republic. What factors do you think contributed to the transition from Etruscan kingship to the establishment of a republic in Rome? So how can we simplify this question? How can we simplify this question? What factors do you think contributed to the transition from Etruscan kingship to the establishment of a republic in Rome? Why did they change from a kingship to a republic? Simplify the question, make it easier for yourself. All right, go ahead.
Why did they change
All right, go ahead and start reading.
Okay, so.
I'll start the. Rome becomes a republic.
Okay, I think it's the
And King's ideas. We know
You're just not gonna do anything.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out
But you gotta help your group.
He said.
Soon after 500 BC,
Okay.
certain Romans
Well, that's the problem. You gotta give me that.
No, you
didn't
don't.
pay attention.
Did you get that last one? This one?
We're done.
Certain Romans of later
Oh, this term.
Like this group.
That's not a term.
Well, they're better than yesterday.
I did it.
What? What?
I found the Republican.
Mr. White had a timer clock.
Oh, thank you.
Dumping something. Wow. Okay. No, what's that other one? My pencil. No, the other one that they had right. Oh, yeah. I'm about to be done with this whole paper.
Kyrie, go
Oh, wait. What?
all of you, send your right. Toby, where's your paper? I just
Wait, where are you at?
Why did they change now having kings to a republic?
Early revolution.
No, we're doing it in pieces together. You're not following instructions.
We had to go through yesterday.
That's not following instructions either.
Okay, this one.
Right here. And when you get me this far, what are you supposed to do?
What?
Supposed to discuss that question after I do it. So you're not supposed to go on to the next one. Oliver, do you have the word? That's your voter. Do you have the word? I'm not doing this anymore.